tricks up its sleeve of all kinds. And I'm just remembering this moment from back in January when I had a rock hit my windshield, and it hit exactly where my head was. And the glass that was broken looked exactly like the Eye of Horus. And I talked about in videos about how that particular intersection had biblical connections and connotations to it, and how I didn't see it as some kind of irrelevant incident. The incident a couple of days ago, on the other hand, didn't feel remotely as special. It's a hit and run. It's at a grocery store. Completely destroyed the front end of my car. I went back and tried to get video footage because there's surveillance cameras. It was in a very ghetto area. There's people on fentanyl all around there. It was an absolute cesspool of an area, one of the worst in the county. There's cameras, but nobody could access them. And the next day, basically, the store director confirmed that it was a hit and run. Some red truck plowed into me while I was in the store and drove off. And so it happens. My insurance will not cover it. Hey, Greedy, because all I have is liability. They'll only cover it if they uncover a license plate. But their cameras couldn't read the license plate. But here's where the funny reality thing comes in with the Truman Show reality. Okay, listen to this. This particular city is one of the few in the entire country that has license plate readers installed on every corner that are 24/7 reading. AI generated machines are reading license plates and reading everybody's information like a total dystopian hellhole. And I should easily be able to find this person who hit me. But no, because it's impossible to get a hold of the police department. They don't give two shits about minor crimes. I can't even get a hold of a human. You can't, it's just impossible. So $2,000-3,000 short now. So my first check for my new job will be going to repair a car for some jackass that hit me. It's just another beautiful gift the universe has given me. Many beautiful gifts. Many, actually. Very, very beautiful gift. Anywho, I'm on a tangent, but I was going to get into my dream, but I figured I had to mention it because the windshield incident in January might be connected to this. It might not be. Could be some kind of warning. I was just trying to figure out what the spiritual purpose of this was. But it was definitely some kind of warning to me. And this dream, too, maybe. This dream was kind of creepy, guys, so get ready for this one. I was in a mansion. It's a beautiful big house. It was like southern styled, like you'd see in Georgia, with the columns, and it was 2 floors high, and it had a massive swimming pool and many rooms, and there was a group of adults and there was a group of children, and they were completely separated for some reason, and one couldn't access the other. So I'm just walking around this place and I'm getting this really strange sensation, like this really strange, it was like a vibration. There was a peculiar vibration in this place I cannot describe. I've never felt it before in any of these dreams. It felt very mechanical, but not mechanical in the sense of a technology. It felt mechanical as in the sense of some kind of ancient machine, like a metal, like a metallic machine, that it felt like it was oscillating like a metallic machine. Very hard to explain. And I'm walking around this place, and I try to hide in the bathroom, and I take out this packet of white powder, and I try to snort it. And by the way, this is actually, I've had quite a few dreams where either I was using drugs or I was around people who use drugs. And no, don't get any ideas. I'm not actually using any. But I was trying to use it, and this man comes in the bathroom and he stares at me. And I look at him, and he looks so familiar. This intense sense of familiarity comes, and he has eyes like I've never seen a person with eyes like this in my life. He was a very, very powerful being, whoever this was. And it was kind of like a middle-aged man with black hair, like 50 years old. And as I have this packet in my hand, he's staring at me. He's staring at me like, in a way that's like a sort of like disappointment. And it kind of made me think when I woke up, like, there are things that we distract ourselves with so that we can forget that we're in this reality, right? It doesn't have to be drugs, right? There are things that people do that distract themselves. I think we all do it to some degree, and I think that's what was represented in the dream. And I certainly have my forms of distractions. I go to concerts often. That's one of my escapes, is going to concerts and things like that, you know? And as he was staring at me, this is when things got really weird. In his eye, I entered, a vortex opened up in his eye, and I started to see a spiral. And the spiral got bigger, and then I entered into it, and I found myself in a tunnel. And I found myself inside the dream, but in a different reality now. So I wasn't in the mansion now. I was in some static universe. This was some kind of black and white. It was black and white. There's no color in this reality. It looked like it was some kind of city, kind of like Chicago or something, New York, and people were wearing fedoras, and everything was black and white. But it didn't feel like this reality. Actually, the quantum oscillating harmonics in this place actually felt like it represented not a complete universe. It felt like it represented some kind of blueprint universe, or some kind of ancient original blueprint, is the sense that I was getting. And it was very static. It was a very neutral, static vibration there, where there was a very subtle oscillation, and I knew this place was ancient. Why was I shown it? I don't know. But I just was briefly there. I came back to, and he was still staring at me, and so I left. And then we went to another room. And I found myself in a group of people, and he was staring at us. And there was a lot of people there. He was staring at all of us, looking around, and we were looking at him. And as we were looking at him, the same sort of thing started to happen again. I started to see that vortex open up when he would look at me. And inside his eye, the spiral came again, and I entered into it. And again, I find myself in a different dimension now. I go in it, and I'm in a different dimension. And this one had an intense, like, I can't even explain to you. It had an intense sense of familiarity to it that I can't even describe. And it almost like brought me to tears waking up, because I saw myself as a child in another house. It wasn't this mansion. This was a different house. It was also a white colored house, but it was smaller. It was much smaller, and it was in a forested area. And I just saw myself playing in the forest around the house as a child. And I looked at myself, and memories started flooding back, like this was a life, almost like that this was a life I lived eons ago, type of a sensation. And it brought back really beautiful, harmonious feelings inside of me, which is something I only have in dreams here. It's nothing I never feel here. It's not anything I ever experience here. Every day is just a distorted, endless nightmare in this place. But I felt like I sensed that childhood kind of innocence, basically. I sensed that childhood innocence, and I saw this reality. And we went back again through his eye and back into that same living room. And that was essentially the end. But I have so many questions. I have so many questions on who was this man? Why did he look so familiar? Was this some kind of ancient soul brother from a different reality, from a different dimension? Could it be something nefarious? Is it some kind of handler figure? I don't know. I didn't get that sense, though. I didn't get that sense that this was an evil man, that this was something dark. I got this sense, like, you know what it felt like to me? Like he was a sensei, like he was like a martial arts teacher, stern, strict, but doing it from a place of love, basically, is what I felt. Okay, so what was he teaching me? What was I supposed to learn from these observations? And this was such a unique type of dream, where I dreamed. It was this was basically Inception. I dreamed, I went through portals in the dream to other dreams. This is what it was. Very interesting and rare type of experience. But yeah, before I go regarding the car, there's still hope. They do have other cameras they said they're going to look at, but I mean, dude, like if you hit somebody, just stop and give your insurance, please. Like in the area, like okay, where I was in, like everybody's on drugs. I'm not kidding. So they're probably high or drunk and didn't. That's why they didn't stop. When you have every third person on a substance in an area, they're not going to stop. Okay, it's just how it is. It's just the degenerate cesspool that I live in.